32. Mahamati once more asked the Buddha, Bhagavan, please explain for us the essential characteristics of word projection. Bhagavan. Once I and the other bodhisattvas understand the essential characteristics of such projection and are able to penetrate the two kinds of truth regarding words and what they express, we will quickly attain unexcelled, perfect enlightenment, and we will use the two kinds of truth regarding words and what they express to free all beings from impurity. The Buddha replied, Mahamati, listen carefully and ponder this well, and I will tell you. Mahamati said, Wonderful, Bhagavan. May we be so instructed. The Buddha told Mahamati, there are 4 kinds of word projection. Object words, dream words, words for attachment to mistaken projections, and words for projections without beginning. Object words arise from attachment to the projection of forms and characteristics. Dream words arise from recollecting previously experienced realms that upon waking are found to be non-existent. Words for attachment to mistaken projections arise from recollecting previous acts of hostility. And words for projections without beginning arise from the habit energy of the seeds of past attachments to beginningless projections. This is what characterizes the 4 kinds of word projection. 33. Mahamati once more beseeched the Buddha to explain the meaning of this. Bhagavan, please tell us again about the realm in which word projection occurs. Bhagavan, where and why and how and based on what do beings give rise to their projection of words? The Buddha told Mahamati, sounds are produced by the conjunction of the head, chest, throat, nose, lips, tongue, and teeth. Mahamati asked the Buddha, Bhagavan, are words and projections separate or not separate? The Buddha replied, words and projections are neither separate nor not separate. And how so? Because the one is the cause of the other. Mahamati, if words and projections were separate, projections could not be their cause. And if they were not separate, words could not express their meaning. But they do. Hence, they are not separate and not separate. Mahamati again asked the Buddha, Bhagavan, are words ultimate truth? Or is what they express ultimate truth? The Buddha replied, Mahamati, words are not ultimate truth, nor is what they express ultimate truth. And how so? Ultimate truth is what Buddhas delight in. And what words lead to is ultimate truth. But words are not ultimate truth. Ultimate truth is what is attained by the personal realization of Buddha knowledge. It is not a realm known by means of the projection of words. Therefore, the projection of words does not express ultimate truth. Words arise and cease and shift, with their occurrence depending on changing causes and conditions. Mahamati, what depends on changing causes and conditions for its occurrence does not express ultimate truth. Mahamati, because of the non-existence of their own characteristics or of those of something else, words do not express ultimate truth. Moreover, Mahamati, because any characteristic of an external existence does not exist except as a perception of one's own mind, the projection of words does not express ultimate truth. Hence, Mahamati, you should avoid the projection of words. 34. The Buddha then repeated the meaning of this in verse. Whatever exists has no self-existence. The same is true of words. The profound truth of the emptiness of emptiness is something fools don't know. The self-existence of what exists. And the words I teach are like shadows. To those who realize Buddha knowledge themselves, I teach ultimate reality. 35. Mahamati then asked the Buddha, Bhagavan, please tell us, how do we transcend sameness, difference, both and neither, existence, non-existence, and neither existence nor non-existence, permanence and impermanence, which is not practiced by followers of other paths but which is the practice of the personal realization of Buddha knowledge. And how do we get free of the individual and shared characteristics of projection? And how do we accord with the truth of ultimate reality and the sequence of stages marked by increasing purification that lead to the Tathagata stage? Where one's effortless resolve, like a magic gem that reflects every color, displays realms without limit, but where everything displayed is distinguished as a perception of one's own mind. And how do we and other bodhisattvas avoid views of the individual or shared characteristics of such an imagined reality and quickly attain unexcelled perfect enlightenment and enable other beings to achieve complete happiness and contentment? The Buddha replied, "It is excellent, Mahamati, excellent, that you were able to ask me about the meaning of such things for the happiness of the many, for the welfare of the many, out of compassion for all gods and humans." The Buddha told Mahamati, "Listen carefully and ponder it well, and I will clarify and explain this for you." Mahamati said, "Wonderful, Bhagavan. May we be so instructed." The Buddha said, "Mahamati, foolish people cling to internal and external existence due to the habit energy of their attachments to projections of the self-existence of sameness or difference or both or neither. Or of existence or non-existence or neither existence nor non-existence, or of permanence or impermanence, unaware they are nothing but their own mind. Mahamati, it is like when deer are oppressed by thirst, and they see a shimmering mirage, and thinking it is water, they rush foolishly toward it, unaware it isn't water. In the same manner, foolish people are infected by the habit energy of beginningless projections and fabrications and are inflamed by the fires of greed, anger, and delusion. Delighting in worlds of form and beholding their origination, duration, and cessation and clinging to external and internal existence. They fall prey to grasping and imagining conceptions of their sameness or difference or both or neither. Or of their existence or non-existence or neither existence nor non-existence, or of their permanence or impermanence. It is like a city of Gandharvas, which foolish people devoid of wisdom imagine as a city, but which is the appearance of the habit energy of the beginningless attachment to form and is neither a city nor not a city. In the same manner, there are followers of other paths who cling to views of sameness or difference or both or neither. Or of existence or non-existence or neither existence nor non-existence. Or of permanence or impermanence due to the habit energy of the beginningless attachment to fictions, and who are thus unable to see them as nothing but perceptions of their own minds. It is like when people dream they are in a place filled with men and women, elephants and horses, carts and pedestrians, towns and villages, orchards and forests, mountains and rivers, ponds and lakes. And upon waking, they remember this. Mahamati, what do you think? If these people don't let go of the memory of what they have previously dreamt, are they wise or not? Mahamati replied, they are not, Bhagavan. The Buddha told Mahamati, the same is true of foolish people infected by erroneous views and the wisdom of followers of other paths who do not realize their views of sameness or difference or both or neither. Or of existence or non-existence or neither existence nor non-existence, or of permanence or impermanence are the dreamlike perceptions of their own minds. It is like a landscape painting without height or depth in which foolish people imagine height and depth. The same is true of future followers of other paths full of the habit energy of erroneous views, due to their views of sameness or difference or both or neither. Or of existence or non-existence or neither existence nor non-existence. Or of permanence or impermanence, they harm themselves and harm others, calling them nihilists for maintaining the doctrines of non-arising and neither existence nor non-existence. Denying causation, they sever the good roots and destroy the means to get free of impurity. Anyone who seeks transcendence should keep away from them. Once those who make such claims fall prey to views of self, other, or both and projections of existence or non-existence, they become trapped in assertions and denials, and because of such mistaken conceptions, they end up in one of the hells. It is like someone with defective vision who sees a strand of hair and asks others if they see it. The strand of hair does not actually exist. But neither does it not exist, because it is seen and not seen. The same is true of the fantasies and longings of the followers of other paths, which are based on views of sameness or difference or both or neither, or of existence or non-existence or neither existence nor non-existence, or of permanence or impermanence, and with which they slander the true Dharma and mislead themselves and others. It is like a wheel of fire that is not a wheel. Foolish people imagine a wheel, but not the wise. In the same manner, the fantasies and longings of the followers of other paths are based on imagining whatever arises in terms of sameness or difference or both or neither, or of existence or non-existence or neither existence nor non-existence, or of permanence or impermanence. It is like raindrops, which look like jewels. Fools and those of little or no wisdom mistake them for gems and try to grab them. But raindrops are neither gems nor not gems because they are grasped and not grasped. Likewise, followers of other paths infected by the habit energy of false views and projections regard what does not exist as arising and what exists due to causes as ceasing. Furthermore, Mahamati, there are those conversant with the three means to knowledge or the five-part syllogism who imagine that there is something in the personal realization of Buddha knowledge that exists apart from the two modes of reality. Mahamati, those who transform their mind, will, and conceptual consciousness put an end to the projections of grasping and grasped that are perceptions of their own minds. But those who cultivate the personal realization of Buddha knowledge of the Tathagata stage do not think of it as existing or not existing. If those who cultivate should develop a perception of the existence or non-existence of such a realm, they would perceive an individuality, a self, or a person. Mahamati, any teaching involving the self-existence of individual or shared characteristics is the teaching of an apparition Buddha, not the teaching of a real Buddha. Moreover, all their teachings arise from the views and longings of foolish beings and are not for establishing teachings of another reality or for indicating the bliss of the samadhi attained by those who dwell in the personal realization of Buddha knowledge. It is like the appearance of a tree's reflection in water, which is not a reflection and not a reflection, and which does not resemble a tree and does not resemble a tree. In the same way, those who are infected by the habit energy of heterodox views and attached to projections of sameness or difference or both or neither, or of existence or non-existence or neither existence nor non-existence, or of permanence or impermanence would not know that these are nothing but the perceptions of their own minds. It is like a clear mirror that shows all the shapes and images before it without discriminating among them. They are not images and not images. But they are seen as images or not depending on whether foolish people discriminate them as such. In the same way, the misconceptions of the followers of other paths appear as images of their own minds, which they discriminate and cling to based on their views of sameness or difference or both or neither, or of existence or non-existence or neither existence nor non-existence, or of permanence or impermanence. It is like the sounds made when water and wind come together. They neither exist nor do not exist. In the same way, the misconceptions and projections of followers of other paths are based on views of sameness or difference or both or neither, or of existence or non-existence or neither existence nor non-existence, or of permanence or impermanence. It is like the heat waves that flow like rivers or well up like clouds in places barren of vegetation. They neither exist nor do not exist depending on the existence or not of thirst. The same is true of the ignorant, infected by the habit energy of beginningless fabrications. They imagine the sameness or difference or both or neither, or the existence or non-existence or neither existence nor non-existence, or the permanence or impermanence of origination, duration, and cessation as the knowledge of reality known to Buddhas, just like heat waves. It is like when someone uses incantations to make something move that isn't alive. Or when something controlled by a pishika moves and foolish people attached to the projection of movement say it exists. In the same way, the misconceptions and longings of followers of other paths are based on views of sameness or difference or both or neither. Or of existence or non-existence or neither existence nor non-existence, or of permanence or impermanence. But they are attachments to fictions and not founded on anything real. Therefore, Mahamati, those who would attain the personal realization of Buddha knowledge should abandon all views and projections concerning the sameness or difference or both or neither. Or concerning the existence or non-existence or neither existence nor non-existence, or concerning the permanence or impermanence of origination, duration, and cessation. The Buddha then repeated the meaning of this in verse. An illusion, a dream, the reflection of a tree in water. A strand of hair, a shimmering mirage. Who views the three realms like this, finally attains liberation, just as the sight of a mirage bewilders the mind as it shimmers. Dear, imagine water, where no water actually exists. Likewise seeds of consciousness shimmer in the visible world. Fools give rise to projections, as if they were looking through cataracts, through birth and death without beginning, attached to grasping existence, removing one wedge with another. They renounce the desire to grasp, like something that moves by magic, a cloud, a dream, or lightning. Such insight results in liberation, and severs the three continuities forever. There is no creator inside. Things resemble a mirage in the sky. Once you know they're like this, there isn't anything known. Designations are merely names, devoid of characteristics. But from them come projections. The skandhas are like strands of hair. Like strands of hair or paintings. Illusions or dreams or Gandharvan cities. Shimmering mirages or wheels of fire. Beings who don't exist are thus perceived. Permanence or impermanence, sameness or difference. Both of these or neither. The mistaken projections of fools. Continuities without beginning. In water, a mirror, or an unclouded eye. In a miraculous jewel, countless forms are seen, none of which are real. Whatever exists appears, like a painting or a shimmering mirage. All the forms that are seen are like a dream in which nothing is real. 36. Moreover, Mahamati, the teaching of the Tathagatas is free from the four possibilities of sameness or difference or both or neither. Or of existence or non-existence or neither existence nor non-existence, or of permanence or impermanence, and also free from projections of assertion or denial of existence or non-existence. What the Tathagatas chiefly teach are the truths of the scriptures, dependent origination, the path, cessation, and liberation. Their teaching does not include a self-existence or a supreme lord or a spontaneous cause or minute particles or temporal periods or a continuously existing entity. Furthermore, Mahamati, it is in order to eliminate the twin obstructions of passion and knowledge that they put forth the series of projection-free statements and distinguish the characteristics of the various paths and stages, as if they were caravan chiefs. 37. Moreover, Mahamati, there are four kinds of meditation. And what are the four? They include beginner meditation, meditation on meaning, meditation on suchness, and Tathagata meditation. What is meant by beginner meditation? This refers to what Shravakas, Pratyeka Buddhas, and followers of other paths practice, which is to focus primarily on meditating on the non-existence of a personal self among the individual and shared characteristics of their bodily frame, on its impermanence, its suffering, and its impurity. Meditating on no other characteristics than these, they proceed from one to the next but without eliminating such characteristics. This is what is meant by beginner meditation. And what is meant by meditation on meaning? Given the absence of a self among the individual or shared characteristics of persons and the non-existence of a self, an other, or both as taught by heterodox sects, this refers to meditating on the absence of a self among dharmas and on the meaning of the characteristics of the stages through which one steadily advances. This is what is meant by meditation on meaning. And what is meant by meditation on suchness? This refers to the projection of the two kinds of no-self and the projection of the non-arising of suchness. This is what is meant by meditation on suchness. And what is meant by Tathagata meditation? This refers to enjoying the threefold bliss that characterizes the personal realization of Buddha knowledge and to performing inconceivable deeds on behalf of other beings upon reaching the Tathagata stage. This is what is meant by Tathagata meditation. The Buddha then repeated the meaning of this in verse. Meditation practiced by beginners. Meditation on the meaning of characteristics. Meditation based on suchness, or the pure meditation of the Tathagatas, on such shapes as the sun or moon, or a lotus in the depths of hell, or space after the fire. Thus do practitioners contemplate a myriad of objects such as these. Fill the meditations of other schools, and those trapped in the realms of Shravakas or Pratyeka Buddhas. Those who abandon these are thereby free of projections. Buddhas come from every land, with hands beyond conception, and touch their heads as one, and led them into suchness. 38. Mahamati Bodhisattva then addressed the Buddha. As for entering nirvana, Bhagavan, what is meant by nirvana? The Buddha replied, witnessing the transformation of the habit energy of self-existence of the repository consciousness, the will, and conceptual consciousness, this is what is meant by nirvana. The nirvana of other Buddhas and myself is the realm that is empty of self-existence. Moreover, Mahamati, nirvana is the realm of the personal realization of Buddha knowledge. It is free from the existence or non-existence of projections of permanence or impermanence. And why is it not permanent? Because projections of individual or shared characteristics are impermanent. Therefore it is not permanent. And why is it not impermanent? Because it is the personal realization attained by all sages of the past, the present, and the future. Therefore it is not impermanent. Mahamati, nirvana is not annihilation or death. If nirvana were death, there would be the continuity of something reborn. And if nirvana were annihilation, it could be characterized as something created. Therefore, nirvana is free from annihilation and free from death. This is why it is the refuge of practitioners. Moreover, Mahamati, nirvana isn't lost, and it isn't found. It isn't impermanent, and it isn't permanent. It doesn't have one meaning, and it doesn't have multiple meanings. This is what is meant by nirvana. Furthermore, Mahamati, the nirvana of Shravakas and Pratyeka Buddhas consists in an awareness of individual and shared characteristics, in avoiding contact, in an end to delusions, and in not giving rise to projections. This is their idea of nirvana. 39. Moreover, Mahamati, there are two kinds of self-existence. And what are they? Attachment to the self-existence of words and attachment to the self-existence of objects. Attachment to the self-existence of words comes from attachment to the habit energy of word projections without beginning. Attachment to the self-existence of objects comes from not realizing that the distinctions that arise are perceptions of one's own mind. 40. Moreover, Mahamati, the Tathagatas employ two kinds of powers for the support of bodhisattvas who come before them for instruction. And which two supporting powers? the power to appear in bodily form and speak to those in samadhi, and the power to anoint their foreheads. Mahamati, by relying on these powers of the Buddhas, bodhisattvas at the initial bodhisattva stage enter what is known as the light of the Mahayana Samadhi. Once they enter this samadhi, Buddhas from worlds throughout the 10 directions appear in bodily form and speak to them by means of these powers, as they did to Vajragarbha Bodhisattva and to other bodhisattvas of similar virtue and accomplishment. Mahamati, the power of the samadhi attained by these bodhisattvas at the initial bodhisattva stage is a result of the good roots they have cultivated and accumulated over the course of 100,000 kalpa. As they work their way through the easy and difficult aspects of the various stages, they finally reach the Dharma cloud stage, where they dwell inside a magnificent lotus flower palace seated upon a jeweled lotus flower throne surrounded by a retinue of their fellow bodhisattvas adorned with necklaces of jewels that shine.